Hey, Middle Tennessee cyclists. So I've got an interesting challenge that we're going to do today. This is my buddy Mike.
Hi.
Mike is a great cyclist. I actually looked. Mike has done, you've done over 500 miles this year.
Yeah.
But you are not like a true nerdy, full-on Lycra spandex cyclist like I am.
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever heard of the Music City Bikeway, Mike?
I have.
Do you know the route of the Music City Bikeway?
More or less, most of it. Yeah.
More or less most of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Wait, let's pause a moment. Here is the latest groove map made by NDOT. This shows Nashville's greenways, bikeways, and bike lanes all in one place. You can find these at bike shops and community centers all around Nashville. It's even posted online. The Music City Bikeway is marked on the map by these bicycle symbols. This is what we are trying to follow. And on the road, the Music City Bikeway is marked with these signs. I told Mike he could look at the map for a total of 3 minutes throughout the ride, just to keep things interesting. All right, back to it.
We are going to try to follow the Music City Bikeway signs and see if we can get all the way across to the other side. Now, we don't have any GPS routes pulled up or anything like that, so we are just relying on the built infrastructure along the way. I do have the map on my phone, so what you can do at any point in time that you want, we can pull up the map, but I'm going to give you a total of 3 minutes throughout the ride to look at it.
Okay.
So do you want to look at the map a little bit now to start as a refresher, or should we just go out on the ride and if you get lost we can pull it up?
I say we just go for it.
You say we just go for it at first? Okay. So if you don't know, we are at the Deep Well parking lot for Percy Warner Parks. This is one terminus for the Music City Bikeway. The other one is all the way out at the Percy Priest Dam, but because of greenway closures, we're not going to go all the way out there. We're just going to make it to the Shelby Bottoms Nature Center. Once we get to there, we'll come back this way. But that'll be a good finishing spot for this challenge. All right, let's fucking do it.
Let's do it.
Now, I promise I'm not going to bore you with every single moment along the ride, so let's hit the highlights. You may have noticed some airs on the route flyover just a moment ago. Mike immediately missed the very first turn, considering the sign was pretty much blocked by a tree. I let him get up the road a block or two before I told him that we were already off route. We navigated through Belle Meade along Old Harding and Post Road without any problems. There was a little confusion where to go when getting through the parking lots to the Richland Creek Greenway, but we made it through Sylvan Park relatively unscathed. However, once we got to Charlotte and 46th Street, I encouraged Mike to look at the map. The signs for the Music City Greenway direct you onto Charlotte Avenue, which is absolutely horrendous to ride on. I encouraged him that we take the route through the Nations in Hadley Park, despite not being on the Music City Bikeway. Annoyingly, once we got back onto Clifton Avenue, there were no signs for the bikeway, and our progress was halted by a stopped train. We were forced to detour and ended up on Charlotte Avenue anyways. I routed us back onto Joe Johnston, but Mike missed the invisible sign by Frankie Pierce Park needed to tell us to turn left onto 10th Avenue North. At this point, he took a glance at the route again using the remainder of his 3 minutes, but we once again lost the route going past Bicentennial Capitol Mall. Getting through Riverfront Park and down 1st Avenue North was relatively painless, but once downtown, we could not find any signs for the Music City Bikeway. Obviously, we knew we needed to cross the pedestrian bridge, so that's what we headed towards. And from there, it was smooth sailing up Davidson Street to Shelby Bottoms Park.
We made it to the Shelby Bottoms Nature Center via the Music City Bikeway, but not without some trials and tribulations. Mike, what was your thoughts?
It was fun.
Yeah?
There are plenty of signs, but there are not signs where there should be.
Yeah. So where are like some places particularly that we ran into issues?
Frankie Pierce Park?
Yeah, there was a sign missing for a turn on Frankie Pierce Park. There's some confusion around
About 10 seconds into the ride.
About 10 seconds into the very first turn, the sign was blocked by a tree limb. You couldn't see it, so missed the very first turn. Some confusion at where it kind of snakes back behind the buildings at White Bridge, right?
Yep.
And then the whole Charlotte Pike corridor and alternate routes is just a complete clusterfuck, I would say.
It is.
And then downtown too, navigating through downtown to get to the pedestrian bridge. There really was just
no signs.
Yeah, no signs there. So yeah, quite interesting.
And so I have a few additional closing thoughts. If Nashville wants to make this route as usable and cyclist-friendly as possible, it needs to remove Charlotte Avenue from the route altogether and complete the missing signage along the journey. While Charlotte Pike does have bike lanes, again, I would not advise anyone of any skill level to ride on them. The easy riding route shown through the Nations and Hadley Park should be adopted as the official Music City Bikeway route, and an appropriate alternative should be marked on 25th Avenue North to Herman Street and Hermosa Street onto Dr. D.B. Todd Jr. Boulevard in case of a stopped train. In the future, another alternative route could be added utilizing a completed Athena Bikeways project, the 440 Greenway, and the ongoing Charlotte Rail Corridor. I have links to these projects in the description below. As always, thanks for watching and ride safe.